Okay, so this is going to be the more detailed video. This is actually attempt number 3 at it. My first attempt, I actually recorded the entire thing. I was done. I was happy with it. I went back to watch it, and I lost audio after 4 minutes. It was a 15-minute video. So, started over again. 4 minutes into the next video, I got an alert on my computer, which is the same alert I got the first one, just like a regular, informational pop-up thing. So I was like, crap, did I lose audio again? I didn't, but I'd rather redo 4 minutes than another 15. So, attempt number 3. So this is where we were before. So you click open. The reason why I have the template and the template backup, these are both exactly the same currently. Whenever I have a template, I always make a template backup because I always manage to accidentally save over my template. So if you find that you've saved over your template, you can just load the backup. Once you load the backup, you do a save it as the template, and then you get both these evened out again. So this is where we were. Now, this is the file system here. This being the third time I've done this, I don't remember if I mentioned this in the quick video or what. I don't like the system here. I prefer the one where you click File Open and it brings up the dialog box. You select your file. This is kind of the same thing, just a much harder to use version. You can either type in the file path of where your files are, or you can use the buttons here to navigate to the folder and then select the file. Either way, once you set a file path in here, it'll stay. So the next time you load it or open Blender, it'll be in that file. So if you keep all of your files in the same folder, then that'll be fine. So when you go to load here, like I said, and you want to make sure that you're at 0 + 0, 0, because whenever you click and drag something down here, it's going to load wherever this blue bar is. So if you go here and you want to load it over here, it's going to load it over here. So you want to make sure it's at 0, 0, 0, and then load like that. Now, if you want to load something later, then that's a quick way of doing it. But for what you're doing, I think this is going to be fine. I also mentioned scrolling to the end to make sure that the ends line up for the audio and video. As you'll see, these don't. Blender defaults to 24 frames per second. The video I grabbed off of YouTube is 25 frames per second. So the audio and video don't sync up because it only renders the audio. It only renders one of them at that. It loads the other to whatever its default is. I don't know why it does that, but it's free software. When I'm done with this, I'll do another quick little video to show you how to check the FPS of your video so you can set it correctly. So as you see over here, this is where we typed in when we typed in this number here, right here, right underneath that frame rate. It's 24. Since YouTube is 25, you just click this, it's a drop down, select 25, and you see that they even out. I've also defaulted this, I think I've defaulted this to 50,000. That's just because that's about, as you see here, it's about 33 minutes. But I think normally Blender defaults to 250. So when you first open it, it'll probably be 250, which is about 10 seconds. Which you don't want 10 seconds. You want whatever this number is here. So 49645. So let's see, I had at 50,000. And then, whoa, what did I just do there? I made it really big. Let's no. Okay. Okay. Wow. I don't know what I just did there, but all right. What did? Oh, that's why I made it 500,000. So I made it way bigger. Okay, hold on. 50,000. That should make this a lot easier to navigate. Something like this where I would start over, but I've already done that 3 times. What is going on with this? What? It will not. It. What? Oh, okay. I see what's going on. All right. Well, there was a little lesson I taught myself there. So if you scroll your mouse button, it scrolls how far you scroll with the bar. So if you pull back, it gets smaller. You push forward, it gets bigger. So that's apparently what I'd done. I'd scroll it back really far. All right. So, as you see, so back to 50,000. 50,000, you see it goes past the end of the video. You can see the color change. This is where the render will end. So there'll be a lot of blank space at the end. So that's why you want to match it up with the 49645, 49645, and it matches it right up to the end. And then the other thing we did was, gotta make sure you select it first because it's easier to do. Move this. Oh, see, remember what I said about grabbing the side? That's apparently what I just did. I just grabbed the side. So if you do that, Control Z will undo it. Yep, see, I grabbed the side. That's why it's highlighted. So click in the middle, and then you can do this. And then click and drag. Click and drag. And then 49646. Okay. All right. So then the last thing we did in the quick video is we faded in the actual video to prevent that from happening. So I had mentioned scrolling to the middle. In case it wasn't clear, I meant the middle of the logo, the intro, and then selecting the main video feed, fade to current frame, boop, and then there's that. So now to edit this, the intro and outro, if you need to, as you see here, I faded it out with the music. For the most part, it's not exact, but welcome. I wanted to fade it out before you held up Baby Yoda. If for some reason you guys get a later start, you want your intro to go a little bit longer, you can make the video longer or the file longer. Select this side like I just did by accident on the other one. So you want to grab this side and make sure it's highlighted, and then it doesn't matter where you click in here. You can click all the way over here, click and drag, and see it gets bigger. One thing you'll have to do though is you see this color change right here, where the slash, that it will still fade out at the same spot. Another thing I don't like about Blender. So even though the video goes for longer, it goes for more frames, it will still fade out at that same spot. So the way around that, or way to fix that, is you right click on it, make sure it is selected, right click, clear fade, and that'll clear all the fades. You'll have to redo the intro as well, so that's not too terrible. You just go about right here, which is about halfway for this fade, and then you right click, fade to current frame, and it'll fade it into that frame. And then same thing with this one, about there, right click, fade from current frame, and it'll fade out there, and then you have it.
Welcome back, guys. Misguided shenanigans.
So it fades in a little bit later.
Baby Yoda.
Baby Yoda.
Same thing with the outro. I mean, exact same thing. So, like, for example, for this one,
Have a good night. See you next time. Have a good night, guys.
May the force be with you.
like for that one, if you wanted to wait until after you said "May the Force be with you" to fade out, you would just find where you said that.
May the force be with you.
Which is right about right there. Grab this, make sure this side's highlighted. Goes to that. You have to clear the fade, and then select where you want to fade into. Right click, fade. I mean, you can just do a fade in. If you do a fade in, it's a quick fade in. So that's why I like to select how long it goes, and then just like to current frame, and that way.
Have a good night, guys.
May the force be with you.
It waits till after you say it, and then that audio cue right there kind of got a rough start. That's why I was saying if you guys can get the audio of the music, then what you can do is you can just drop it in here, fade it in with the logo, and that way you don't have to worry about it, the timing or whatever. Now, once you guys start streaming, which I'm sure you'll start doing because your fans will demand it, then I'm sure by then you'll hopefully have better equipment, maybe even a sound guy and all that, because you're going to have a podcast empire. Now, rendering, what you'll want to do. So this is pretty much good to go. You want to render it out. What I talked about in the quick video, just going up here, clicking render, you'll want to set it up first. So back over here, where you did the frames and the frames per second, if you scroll down some, this is your output file path and file. You can click the little folder. I think you can see this. I think you can. You can navigate here, select a file, a file path, and then type in a file name there. If you don't want to do that, or if you couldn't just see that, you can also just type in a file path here with a file name. Now, this intro med, that's the test file I did that I sent you. It's going to save everything as intro med. So what I would recommend is either every time you're going to render something, type in a different file name. So like intro to med. Because if there is already an intro med present, if it's already done one and you go do another one, it will overwrite it. So I'd hate for you to lose an entire podcast, you being overwritten by the latest one. So either rename it every time, or after it's rendered, move it to a different folder. The file format, you'll want FFmpeg video. I think it defaults to PNG or JPG, which I found out the first time I rendered, when I rendered that test video. It actually, instead of rendering a video, it rendered 535 pictures, which is really interesting. Color, you'll not black and white, you'll want color. Container is MPEG 4, is right there. Video codec is H.264. That's basically HDMI. You'll want to do medium quality because you're not recording in high def, so adding more quality is just going to make the file bigger. Audio codec is MP3, stereo, and then I left these at their defaults. So that is pretty much it. Like I said, you go to render animation. As long as you have this at the last frame, it'll render everything. Now, also in my quick video, once I hit render animation, you just saw this kind of ticking by like this. It'll actually bring up a window and show you the frames as it's rendering it. So it'll scrub through the video. Like I said, my screen recorder can only record one screen at a time, so it didn't grab that, and I didn't realize it till after. So if you go to render and you see that, don't freak out. That's what's supposed to happen. So hopefully I have audio for this, so I don't have to record it again. And then I'll record the quick little video of how to figure out your frames per second, and then you should be good. All right. Yay! It looks like I still have audio.